Call the meeting to order. Roll call. Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Welcome to the City of Warrenville Public Safety and Finance Committee of the whole regular meeting. This meeting will be conducted in a traditional in-person format. Public comments will be available in person during the meeting. Roll call.
Mayor Brummel,
Here.
Alderman Ashower,
Here.
Alderman Augustinova,
Here.
Alderman Berry,
Here.
Alderman Davalos,
Here.
Alderman Krokenberg is absent, Alderman Lockett is absent, Alderman Wilkie,
Here.
Alderman Widener must also be absent.
Thank you.
Do we have a, do we even have a quorum?
Everyone that can, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It's time for public comments. I have Pat O'Connor would like to say something.
Taylor Cannon, 3S570 Warren Avenue. I am up here for a reason is the Channel 10 it changed around, everything around. And last week I'm still up going to the meeting. I watched it on Channel 10. I got really how to one more time. One more time. Really how to hear what people is saying. I had to put the TV all the way up loud to hear it. That's one. Two is all changed around. It's not the same kind. It's all different, and the music is really bad. Like you need to put like jazz, country, rock, kind of deal. Alright, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Pat. Anyone else? No other public comments, official and staff comments? Mayor?
Thank you. Just a thank you to the Park District for the wonderful event this last weekend that kind of got a little damp on the second day, but the first day was excellent. Art on the Prairie had a wide variety of artists just showing their talent and bringing opportunities to bring the fruits of their talent to your own home. There was a pretty good crowd. It was a beautiful day. On Saturday, Sunday, sadly, it rained, and it was less of an inviting atmosphere, but clearly a lot of work, a lot of planning, and a lot of forethought went into that event. Very nicely run, and if the weather would have been better, I'm sure Sunday would have been a huge success also. So thanks to the Park District.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone else? No one? Then we'll move on to the business of the meeting. Item number 1 is consideration of a community solar initiative. Finance Director Dahlstrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to introduce Adam Hoover of NIMEC, who is going to be presenting this item. It's an opportunity for the city to participate in a community solar initiative. And Adam, if you'd come right up, please.
Hello, my name's Adam. Many of you have seen me before talking about municipal aggregation. I should have checked. Maybe this summer I was here to discuss that and how we did not restart an aggregation program. That talks about moving power for residents We are not talking about that today. We're talking about the city's own power accounts that they pay to each supplier. For what it's worth, the background is we help find a lower rate than ComEd with we kind of go to bid, and that's kind of our number one job we do. But there's another opportunity to, one, save some money, and two, support green initiatives. So what community solar is, it allows for, it's a state of Illinois incentive. It's part of Pritzker and the state of Illinois' goal to be 100% green by 2045. And so what they would like to do is create this program where without having to install any solar panels anywhere in Warrenville property, anywhere, no physical property or panels are installed anywhere, but you would be kind of renting a solar panel from a rural Illinois solar farm. I guess I shouldn't say rural, just throughout all of Illinois, many of them are in rural areas. And what this does is you're kind of renting that space out. It doesn't cost you anything. And in turn, on your own power bills, you would receive a 10% deduction on cost. So you would be supporting solar energy, not needing to install any infrastructure, and you would get about a 10% reduction based off the ComEd rate. Now, what the beauty of this is, and why we're here now, is that residents can do this. And by the way, I encourage all of you to do it. It's a great program and makes a lot of sense, whether you support green initiatives or just want to save money. But you can also still do that now because of a new law called the CEJA Act, Clean Energy Job Initiative. Clean Energy Job Act has allowed for that to not only can you guys participate in community solar, you can also participate kind of in our NIMAC group bid. So while you're still saving money, finding different suppliers other than ComEd, you can also still save money on the other hand while doing community solar. We do not have availability right now. It's very, very limited. There is some openings coming up. And so what we're here is kind of asking that when that opening comes up, we know it's first come, first serve. And we kind of want to get you guys first on that list. So you're not committing to anything today. And to be clear, you don't, if you, in 2 months from now, I reach out to Kevin and say, hey, here's an agreement, you do not have to sign that. You just are kind of giving Kevin and Christina and staff a little bit more of a signing authority to move ahead quickly so you can kind of jump on the waiting list a little earlier than others. Any questions or concerns?
Questions? Alderman Berry?
You said that the residents can join this somehow?
Yeah, so residents can join. They can't join with what I'm proposing. I'm just saying you can go find, I just Google community solar, and I could give you a couple recommendations of people we like. Solstice is one community one company that communicates well with us, and I know they give good initiatives, incentives, but there's plenty of Arcadia, and there's a couple other ones out there. Same with residents, it's hard to get on the waiting list, but I live in the city of Chicago, and I do not have a lot of space, and I'm supporting, I'm supporting renewable energy without having to install that infrastructure on my little small townhouse.
Okay.
Anyone else? Oh, I'm sorry. Mayor?
A little bit confused on how this works. You said we'll get an electric bill, we'll get 10% off using some solar panels somewhere else that we rent. How does that work?
I wouldn't say rent, you are just, so pretty much, let's say Solstice, who we think is going to have availability, I'm just going to use them as an example. They say, hey, we are pretty much purchasing and creating a big solar field. And they're going to create a big solar field. What they're going to say is we're going to allot X amount of that based on your usage to the city of Warrenville. And so then you guys would still create power and you would still get billed, but you would be kind of the owners, and there's no contract, there's no, you don't have to take care of it or anything, but you would be allotted, I think you guys are about 600,000 kilowatt hours a year. And so that would be kind of that solar field, you guys would be the ones that would be receiving the discount and kind of allocating that room to you.
Okay, and who reimburses that company for their investment of putting all these solar panels up? Where does that come from?
I'd say the state of Illinois. I don't fully, I don't understand exactly how they get paid and how, you're talking about the actual solar farms.
Right.
Yeah, and so they're going to get the solar farm initiatives and incentives that come there. And I think the state of Illinois is also putting a good chunk in their back pocket, but I can't fully answer how they're going to
Okay,
get
but
fully
there are
funded.
incentives,
Yes,
apparently,
incentives in state
that
of
make
Illinois.
it worthwhile for them to do this.
Correct, and that's the 2045 goal that Pritzker has in the state of Illinois.
Okay,
Yes.
that makes sense. Thank
Yes.
you.
Alderman Davalos?
So just to keep going, so the 10% that we're saving, not paying. I'm still, I should get this, but I'm not. How exactly is that helping this solar farm? I mean, you'd think we'd have to pay more. I mean, I guess, why am I not getting this exactly?
I kind of agree with, yes, it's a good,
It sounds great, but it's like,
it's 100% what it is. It's a great deal for those that sign up. That's why I encourage residents to sign up as well. Yeah, there's no sign-up fee. There's no termination fee. I understand your concern. It's kind of a no-brainer. I think my biggest issue is which towns do we go to tell them about this? And we're going to more renewably focused towns, which is why we've talked to you guys previously about this. And we know that you guys are more of a renewably focused community. And so we're kind of going to our greener towns first. But
so we pay less and somebody gets more
and somebody
of something,
somebody gets more.
of something. I mean, how can us paying less help anybody?
Solar Farm gets it from the state.
What do you mean?
No, I know the city doesn't pay that, right? But,
So what do you mean somebody gets more?
well, I thought this was going to be advantageous to the solar farming community. To the
Yes,
people that,
and I'm sure they're filling up their solar farm, their spots, their farms, and now they're having people go into it. And so, I mean, ComEd and Illinois and all these initiatives, my guess would be exactly, I can't answer how they're getting fully
yeah,
funded.
okay, it seems odd that we pay less. Yes, it's good for us,
Correct?
but usually it's a balance. And I don't see the other part of the balance, but that's okay. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
only worried about Warrenville at this point in my position at this table.
I-
But I just wanted to understand the dynamics.
Alderman, you're right on.
I was looking for a flow chart or something.
Yeah, maybe I could get a flow chart or
Okay,
something, but.
thank you.
You're right on. Yeah, there's no downsides. Yeah.
The mayor has another comment.
I would suspect that, as we discussed a little bit earlier, there are enough incentives available out there
Yeah.
so that they're willing to make the investment.
And-
And also because long-term, they know that's going to be a good investment because we're headed in that direction.
Yeah.
And the state is pushing that direction, which gives them even more incentive. So I think it's like anybody who makes an investment, maybe you take a little hit at the beginning because you had to make that investment, but you're going to get that back. You're going to get relief from the state to help you pay your expenses, and we're going to get a benefit. I can see no downside for the city of Warrenville.
Correct. And just to kind of answer some of your, and this will be my opinion and not factual, but on our ComEd bills, we all get taxed a little bit, and it's called the Clean Energy Job Resource Adjustment. And I think part of that probably goes to funding this. So I think, that might be the simple answer. I can't factually say that. But my personal opinion is every resident's being taxed a little bit, and some people are taking advantage of it. But that's an opinion and not fact. I just want to be very clear with how I'm presenting that.
Any more questions? Alderman Goodman, or Treasurer Goodman?
Yes, I have a question about one sentence in the agreement. Under pricing description, it says you will be charged, and then there's a blank, % of the value of bill credits. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, that's so when the bill comes out, what they're saying is you're going to get charged 90% of your actual normal bill, which is where you get the 10% reduction. So free bill from ComEd, where it has the delivery and taxes, and you will be charged 90% of what you normally would be charged. So they say you're going to be charged, I wonder if it's by legal juncture or letters or logistics they need to say, but they're saying a 90% cost of what you normally would pay. I'm saying a 10% reduction. I think they're saying the same things.
Okay, but the 90's not in there yet.
Correct, and that's where I want to be very clear. We're going to present a final agreement. I'm confident you will see one in the next few months. It's say 90%, but that's why you're not agreeing to anything. There's no final contract, but once we get one, we're going to pop it up there, and our current ones are saying 90%. I don't think that'll change.
Anyone else?
Mr.
wanna-
Chairman, can I add to this a little bit? There are a few provisions in there that we will resolve before we get the final agreement in place, much as the one he mentioned. There are a few others that the city attorney asked us to look into as well, and we will resolve those before anything would be executed, and we'll still bring back a final agreement for your approval before it is actually executed in the end.
Thank you for thinking of us. Can I have a
Just
motion?
don't tell every other community we work with, please. Like, don't tell Wheaton.
Alderman Berry.
I'd like to make a motion to recommend the city council authorize participation in a community solar subscription agreement with Solstice Power Technologies LLC as presented and proposed by NIMEC, Representative Adam Hoover, pending city attorney approval of the final agreement.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Thank you. We'll move on to item number 2, consideration of a request to dispose of surplus city property. Chief Bonilla.
Thank you, Chairman. The city currently owns 2 police squad vehicles and 2 signs that no longer serve the needs of the community or the city, and we are looking to properly dispose of them as we normally do by sending them to auction.
Any questions from the council? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Alderman Wilkie.
Recommend that the city council approve an ordinance authorizing the disposal of city-owned property, being 2 police vehicles and 2 message board trailers through an auction conducted by Obanoff Auction Services, Inc.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Thank you. We'll move into the third item, which is consideration of a city holiday schedule for calendar year 2025. Deputy Clerk Gravetti.
Yeah, there are no changes or observed holidays for this next year. It's all pretty standard. Holidays usually fall in the regular days of the week rather than on the weekend. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions? Any comments about it? Everybody good? Is that required? Can I have a motion? Alderman Berry?
I'd like to make a motion to recommend the city council approve the calendar year 2025 city holiday schedule as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. We'll move on to item number 4, consideration of calendar year 2025 City Council and Committee of the Whole meeting schedule. Deputy Clerk Gravetti.
Yeah, again, the notice of council and committee meetings, pretty standard. It also includes the budget workshop that's proposed at the next item on the agenda for March 15th of 2025. So if you have any questions, feel free to answer them for you.
Questions, changes, comments? Can I have a motion? Alderman Berry?
I'd like to make a motion to recommend the city council approve the calendar year 2025 city council and committee of the whole meeting schedule as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to number 5. No, the consideration of fiscal year 2026 budget preparation and adoption timeline. Director Dahlstrom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As noted, this is the schedule presenting for the preparation of the 2026 annual budget, which I can't believe we're actually doing again already, but it's about that time. The most important meeting in here among all of this, as mentioned, is the March 15th, 2025 City Council Budget Workshop, which will again will be held on a Saturday morning here in the City Council chambers. Otherwise, everything else on here is pretty standard as we've done in the past. Hopefully, this is our last year. We'll be doing the budget in its current format, as by a year from now, we should be in the new ERP and ready to go. One of the items I will point out is the next item that's coming up is the elected official budget consideration forms, which will be due on October 28th.
Comments or questions? Do we have a motion? Alderman Wilkie?
I recommend the City Council approve the fiscal 2026 budget preparation and adoption timeline as presented, including a City Council budget workshop on Saturday, March 15th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to item number 6, informational discussion of fiscal year 2026 City Council budget consideration forms. Director Dahlstrom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Each of the elected officials on the city council have been presented. I've left two blank forms for you to use to submit any 2026 budget requests. You're under no obligation to do so, but if you'd like to submit any, they would be due by October 28th of this year. If you need any additional forms, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll make sure you get those. After they are turned in, then staff will vet them, work through them, determine what else needs to be done, and then they would be presented at the November Public Safety and Finance Committee meeting for further consideration if they will continue on into the FY 2026 budget process.
Everyone has a copy of the form in front of them. Is there any questions that anyone has? We're good. That is from information only. We'll go on to item number 7. Informational discussion of water and sewer billing late notice process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you know, we've had a number of issues as we've converted to monthly billing, and we've now straightened most of those out. Our most recent one being we changed from a 15-day due date cycle to a period of 21 days. That's helped already. One of the things we are experiencing, however, is and I think our residents, more importantly, are experiencing a great deal of frustration with the bills and the past due bills actually overlapping each other in the mail because the post office can't quite seem to get it right. So we're actually receiving calls on past due notices before they even receive the original bills, which makes no sense. They're mailed out quite a ways apart. So what we're proposing here is that we eliminate the mailing of those past due bills. It'll, I think, lower the degree of frustration our residents are having. It'll also, a side benefit of that, will diminish the number of calls our staff is receiving. And it's not that we don't want to answer the calls. There's so many of them that are just really unnecessary in the end. So we'd like to eliminate the mailing of those. There's also another side benefit is that there's a small cost savings in the water and sewer fund to not mailing those bills out. Finally, when we're into the new ERP, we would return to doing, the majority of those would be electronic for anybody who signs up for electronic billing. So I think that would solve a great degree of that as well, because obviously we don't have to wait for those to be mailed. They would be almost immediate. So I think that would solve a lot of the issues.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the Alderman Augusto?
Just one question. How will people know if they do have a late bill?
So we're going to be putting on the city website the billing cycle, so they will know that on day 22 is when they're penalized. And it'll actually show up on their next bill as well.
Any other questions? I appreciate you trying to streamline the process to the point that there's less confusion than there has been. It has been an issue that is ongoing. Can I have a motion? Alderman Davalos?
I'd like to make a motion to accept staff recommendation and authorize the elimination of mailed water and sewer billing late notices and direct staff to work with the city attorney to prepare an ordinance amending the appropriate section of the city code.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
If you disagree, say nay. Aye. Ayes have it. We'll move on to item number 8. Informational update on Administration, Finance, Police Department, FY 2025 work plans and decision packages. Does anyone have any questions? No questions or comments from the council? Thank you. That ends the regular agenda. Probably one of the most important things we do is commendations, and you have a pack of them in here this time.
Yes, we
Chief
do.
Bonilla?
That's something to be very proud of. So for this segment, we like to acknowledge some of the commendations that we receive at the police department from our residents and related agencies. The first one is from a resident who wanted to say thank you for helping her find her missing dog. The department put so much effort into the search for Lucy. She did return home after 24 hours, a little frightened, but overall she was unharmed. The residents had much gratitude and appreciation to all of the police department for their excellent service to the community. So it was very nice to hear that, and the officer did put a lot of effort into trying to find Lucy. So it was great that she returned home safely. The second one is from the Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists. So on behalf of the Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists, it is our great pleasure to acknowledge the exceptional DUI enforcement of Officer Amanda Tofano by awarding a certificate of appreciation in recognition of these life-saving efforts. Every year, hundreds of people are killed and thousands severely injured as a result of alcohol and drug-related crashes in Illinois, and it takes only seconds to become a victim without warning or choice. Impaired drivers make choices. They choose their weapons, vehicles, and alcohol or drugs. We at the Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists pledge to continue our fight against impaired driving and to persist in our campaign of this 100% preventable crime. The Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists conducts its annual DUI survey of over 700 Illinois police agencies with funding from the Illinois Department of Transportation, wherein we request your department's top DUI officers. In response, we ask that you pay tribute to this fine officer as one of the Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists' top cops with our congratulations and the presentation of the enclosed award. You have our sincere appreciation and heartfelt thanks for this exceptional public service. So we are very proud of Officer Amanda Tofano for receiving that award from AIM. So not only do we serve the community and the residents within Warrenville, but on occasion we're called to duty to assist some of our sister agencies around the area when they need help, and we have the manpower to assist. So our next commendation comes from the West Chicago Police Department. Dear Chief Bonilla, I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to you, Officer Colin Pickens and Officer Chris Colon, for your assistance during our city's railroad days from June 27th through June 30th, 2024. Their professionalism and dedication were key to the success of the event, and we are truly grateful for your support. Please convey our thanks to all those who assisted us. Should you ever find yourselves in need of our assistance, please do not hesitate to contact the West Chicago Police Department. I may take them up on that one day. I have another one from the Glendale Heights Police Department. Dear Chief Bonilla, on behalf of the Glendale Heights Police Department, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to you allowing Officer Snap and Alatriste to assist us during our Glendale Heights Fest. Your officers played an integral part in the success and safety of our fest. It is always a pleasure to work with you. Thank you again for your assistance. Please do not hesitate in contacting our department for future assistance. Having a lot of departments in our debt there, huh?
Thank you, and congratulations to the officers.
Yes, thank you.
We have no closed session. There's one motion left. Alderman Berry,
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Meeting's adjourned.